Welcome to DarChin.com. Today we're going to take a look at a keyboard case. This is the either, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, IVSO or IVSO, their company's Bluetooth keyboard case for the Vivotab Note 8. And so we'll take a look at it. Came in a nice little box. And we'll see what this case has on the inside. All right. Nicely packaged. Okay, so we can see it is a leather case. Feels pretty good. It has a, let's see, it's a kind of like a belt clasp over here to open up. And there we have it. And there's the instruction manual. It's actually in color, which is kind of nice. A lot of them tend not to be in color. All right, so we have the padding here. Take that out. The silica gel stuff there. All right, so once again, this is for the Vivotab Note 8. So it's an 8-inch tablet. This is the keyboard for it. With when you close it up, it's going to be probably double the thickness of the Vivotab by itself. So looking around the case, you got an opening for the camera, opening for the speakers on the side. Got this little piece here which kind of comes out. It's a nice little kickstand, which is kind of nice. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's got a little solid piece in here which gives it support because it's hard to collapse now this way. So I'll flip that in. That's kind of cool. Looking at the keyboard here, basically what's nice about this keyboard is that the cursor keys are an inverted T and sort of isolated, so they're not crammed into one spot. So you have the Windows key, FN key on the side over here. Let's see, caps lock, delete key, full set of function keys. This is always important because a lot of Bluetooth keyboards that are geared for Android or iOS devices do not have F keys. They'll have number keys and other functions, but they will not have F keys, which makes them kind of useless for a Windows device. So the interesting thing here is that the keyboard is detachable. It's actually magnetic. So it'll be interesting to see if this interferes with the stylus on the Note 8. It's very possible that it could. So I might have to use it in a special way. So I'll have to see once that is in place. On-off switch and Bluetooth sync button on the side here. So all right, there's your look at the case. It does not magnetically clasp close, but once again, it has this kind of like little belt loop here, which you can kind of slip it and close. That's okay. That doesn't seem terrible. So it seems like it's all right. Looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go and pair up this keyboard and stick my Asus Vivotab Note 8 in it, and let's take a look and see what it's like and how it performs. Okay, so let's see how this IVSO Bluetooth keyboard case works with my Asus Vivotab Note 8. All right, so I'm gonna open it up, and we can see that the Velcro here, and tab, you can slip this device in, nice and easy. Oop, as I hit the home button, pop it down for a moment. All right, well, let's just slip this in. All right, so there. So now it fits in nice and neat. All right, as you can see that there's really no obstruction to any of the ports. It's got the opening tab here, so that you can get access to the pen, nice and easy. Let me close this down. Hang on a second. All right, it's asleep. All right, so we'll close this up, and you can see that you're pretty much, with this case, you're kind of doubling the width of the device. Now that's because the keyboard, as you can see here, is almost the size of the Vivotab Note 8 itself, and you get the extra padding along the edges for it, but it does do a nice job of protecting it, so it's kind of nice. So as you can see, we got the openings here obviously for speakers, no obstructions for the camera here, and you got like little accessories that go along with this case. So like, as I open this tab up, this is a kickstand, which is kind of nice because kickstand has this little piece that kind of comes up with it that gives it extra support, which is actually pretty handy. So you can stand it up without a problem. So if you flip it open, you have like sort of a mini laptop. So if I turn the power on now, flip it open, and you can see you have your sort of clamshell laptop here. So I already synced this up, but it syncs up like any other Bluetooth device. You turn it on. This little reflective part over here has an LED that kind of shows that it's working. Indeed, if I go to the settings for the PC and devices under Bluetooth, you'll see that, well, it's still wanting to install a driver, but it does work. So if I hit the Windows key, you see it kind of goes back and forth. So it's kind of nice. So if I were to run something like Microsoft Word, for example, and do some typing, when Word decides to run, try that again. Okay, Word is not, oh, there it goes. It took a little second to start there. And that's fine. So it's asking me about my defaults. But okay, so here we are. So with the keyboard, you can do some typing. Of course, my font is really small. Now, it's to be expected that this keyboard is a bit cramped, obviously, because, well, it's a small keyboard. But like, let me just change the font size to be a bit larger so that, oops, and so I can see what's going on. Oops. Well, this is going to take a bit of getting used to if you're used to a larger keyboard, because obviously you are cramped into it, and the keyboard doesn't go to the edges. There's space along the sides here. So the nice thing about this keyboard is that you have an inverted T for the cursor key, so they're not kind of embedded into the rest of the keys. So they're a little bit easier to access. The F&N controller are here. Which actually, there are some keyboards swap these around, so it could be a little bit confusing for some folks because of the arrangement. But that's relatively minor. I mean, you get the caps lock, tab, and you get the full set of function keys up on top, which is kind of nice. So we can basically use the Windows keys, all tab to things, just like you would with any other type of keyboard, which is quite nice. So then basically, Word keeps pestering me about stuff. So once again, with it, the kickstand is pretty robust. I mean, it won't collapse easily, which is nice. This little tab that comes out actually does keep it quite sturdy, so that you can basically tab all you want without having it to worry about falling over. So the on-off switch over here, there's a Bluetooth button for syncing, but if you turn it off, you can just not worry about it. Nice thing about this as well is the keyboard is magnetically attached, so that basically it's a magnet that kind of keeps it in place, and you can just kind of take it out if you want and kind of use it this way. Or if you, well, let's see, it's not going to be very good for, well, it could be good for, depending on if you want to draw at a steep angle or not. You could do drawing that way as well. So the interesting question that always comes up is, will the magnets interfere with the drawing surface? So let's close this down and run my trusty old Sketchbook Pro here. Now, out of the box here, I don't think there's anything that's going to interfere with the drawing surface, because there aren't many magnets on this end of the device. However, the interesting thing to find out is whether or not, if I were to, say, take the keyboard out, close the stand, if I can close the stand, there we go, whether or not this will have any effect on it at all. So I'll zoom this in here so I can do some drawing. So, well, let me use a really big brush. Hang on, let me just shrink this down a little bit. Seems okay. Except for me squiggling. Well, so it seems like it doesn't really affect anything, which is kind of nice. That's good. That's always reassuring with that that the magnets aren't interfering with, aren't so strong that they're interfering with the function of the tablet. Although I believe the magnets are probably on this, not this, so that's probably leads to that working. It's kind of nice because then if you're say working with like Photoshop, for example, you can have the keyboard on the side while you work, which is kind of cool. And it does lay flat, which is nice, so that the stand back here doesn't negatively affect the way it sits. So that if you have it like this, you can work and not have to worry about being jiggly or stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. So the I guess you can always wrap this around the side here. You have to get it out of the way. And so it looks kind of like a nice little package. And you can always, if you don't want to have the keyboard with you, you can always basically just take the keyboard out and then basically have it without the keyboard. And it makes it a little bit smaller. So, and the case still works. So it's got this loop for this piece here. It kind of goes back here and kind of keeps it all together. Kind of snaps right back in place. That's kind of cool. So the magnets kind of line it up real nice, so that you just basically do that. It snaps in place and holds it pretty well. It isn't going to fall out. So the only thing, if I were to pick a negative about this case, is that it doesn't have a loop of any kind. So like say if you, for example, I have my bamboo pen over here, I really can't there's no place to kind of put it. So I could probably tuck it in, but it's not really secure. So unlike the Moco case, there's no way to kind of hold the pen. It's a minor pet peeve. If you don't have an extra pen, it won't really affect you because you have the built-in pen to work with. So there you have it. A look at the IVSO Bluetooth keyboard case for the Asus Vivotab Note 8. Thanks for watching.